Welcome to Toffee TV. It's the match preview. Chelsea versus Everton at Stamford Bridge, Sunday. 2 o'clock kickoff?
2:15.
Okay, 2:15. We'll go with that.
It's around 2. It's 2:15.
We'll go with that. Yeah. Difficult game, obviously. Not somewhere we have fond memories of recently.
2:15.
Apart from a win in the FA Cup after penalties, we've got nothing really to show. Apart from a couple of draws in what? 23 years?
23 years.
24 years? 24 years?
It's 23 games. So far, I'll give you the stats now. 23 games. Chelsea have won 13 of those and drawn 10 since losing 1-0 in November 94. In all competitions, Everton have won none of their last 28 visits to Stamford Bridge. Well, we have on penalties, but that's wrong, isn't it? In all competitions, because it's got drawn 11, lost 17. Unless they just don't include the penalties. Only one team has had a winless away run longer than that. Spurs went 25 away games without winning at Stamford Bridge. Everton have won one of their last 16 away games in the Premier League in London, drawing 6, losing 9. We've lost the last 4 in a row, all during 2018. Sounding good, this, isn't it? Chelsea are looking to remain unbeaten in their opening 12 games to a top-flight season for only the second time. They've done so in 2014-15, which was 14. Everton have lost 11 of their last 13 Premier League away games played on a Sunday. Chelsea midfielder Cesc Fabregas has had a hand in 10 goals in his last 10 Premier League games against Everton. Now? 5 goals and 5 assists. Yeah, it just gets worse.
Let's just stop.
So there you go.
That's all.
So it's a tough game.
That's all old news.
That's
all. It's not fake news. Clearly, it's all old news. We've got a chance on Sunday, if nothing more than to put in a good performance. Hopefully, go up a level from the game at Old Trafford on our last away trip, and use what we've been doing at home and away, and who knows? This could be the one.
It could be. Listen, it's a very, very difficult game. Quite clearly, our record isn't very good at Stamford Bridge. But in the past few years, we've had opportunities to win there. Last season, we were well beaten. But under Martinez, we were 3-2 up in injury time and should have won. That day we should have won. Yeah. We battered them that day. We really did. We got 2-0 up. Howard made a stupid mistake and they ended up getting it back to 2-2. We then score, and then 8 minutes into injury time, he let a goal in. We've had
offside.
And he was offside. We've had other times, where they've scored in the last seconds against us. John Terry got the winner there once in a 1-0. So we've always gone up and had a little bit of a go there. Gone down, rather. But Sunday represents a different thing for us because we feel like we're growing into a team now that has got the capability. We've got a front four who can cause anyone problems. We really have. We've got a bench that has options on it, solutions on it, so to speak. The midfield looks like it's gelling now. We've got Garner up against Kante, which will be interesting, and then Gomez, who's added that little bit of class to us. So a lot of pieces are in place for us now. It's about growing. Now I'm not saying we'll go there and we're going to go there and win, but what I will say is we'll go there and we'll have a right good go at them, and they'll know they've been in a game, hopefully, that we'll turn up. We performed very well at Arsenal, should have won the game. We didn't perform as well at United, but we finished the game with nothing between us, same amount of shots. We just didn't take our chances, and some would argue a dodgy refereeing decision. We'd have got a point. So we've given a good account of ourselves. So it's about that again on Sunday, really getting at them and asking them some questions while having to obviously watch Everton.
Yeah, they're a very good side. Let's be honest. They're unbeaten in the Premier League.
They're a strong side,
and also they've got a good mentality as well. The last week, they were winning, and then Palace brought it back to 1-1, and then you seen them stepped up to. I think listen, I think there's no, I don't think there's any pressure on us to go there, you know, on Sunday. I think we've just got to not be overawed by it, which I still think at times we are. We're as a I don't know whether it's a team or a fan base or a club or whatever. I think we're still a little bit in awe of these teams when we play them, and that's just simply we pay them too much respect. And if we do concede, we sort of, rather than going, right, come on, let's do something about that, we go the other way. And then we've got to get that out of our system a lot quicker. You know, at Arsenal, we were 1-0 down, then we were 2-0 down before you know it. And then we started to play again. United, we go behind, and then we're sort of feeling sorry for ourselves. And then come out second half slow, and then go, come on, lads, actually, these are not that good. So I think we need to be a little bit more proactive on Sunday. And as you said, it's going to be difficult, but what it is as well is it's a test to see where you are. It's you know, we're all sort of happy at the moment. We're all, you know, we've won a few games against teams that we should be beating, so it's a test to see where you are. And I think what's good about the way I look at it at the moment is, I think in the last few years, you know, we went there a couple of years ago and we were doing all right, and we ended up getting beat 5-0.
Yeah, first 20 minutes.
And we were, you know, but before we went there, we were all right. I think we were all sort of positive going into the game, and then you seen the real mark of where we were. But we came out, I think we didn't, the response was poor, whereas I look at this game and I think, well, for me, the way I look at it at the moment, I think the club are looking at it going, well, we'll see what happens, and we'll respond well. If there's weaknesses in the team, we'll try and improve them, or we'll try and go out there and buy better players, and that's how we'll react. And I think that takes a bit of pressure off. Shouldn't take too much pressure off, but it just takes a little bit of pressure off the game, and it's enough pressure that I think that you can live within, and then hopefully play your game without fearing, because that's always been the thing. It's going into these games with too much fear, and you think about it, what is the genuine fear of losing? If it leads you to lose the game, then what's the point? Whereas the top clubs don't seem to have any fear when they play teams, and that allows them to be free and play their football.
Yeah, it's a psychological thing, isn't it? And you don't know where that starts or ends, because we over the years, there's been many different players that have gone to these grounds with us and we've lost. Now sometimes the team wasn't good enough, so that's why they lost, and Chelsea were. Yeah. Other times the team was probably better than it showed and lost. You know, maybe Chelsea weren't in a good moment, as they say, or whatever, but we just went and we got beat because we were playing Chelsea, where teams like Southampton went there and won 3-1, it should have been at 8, and Bournemouth have won there, and Crystal Palace have won there, and you can go back through the years, and they've had them dodgy results, you know. So I look at like the West Ham game against us in September. West Ham, we always beat West Ham at home. Okay, they beat us a couple of years ago when we threw the game away. But in general, we normally turn them over comfortably at home. We beat them 4-0 last season when we were struggling, and they turned up with a terrible record against us and beat us 3-1 just on that day, because we didn't take our chances and they took everything that came their way. I think they only had 4 chances and scored 3 of them. And that's what we have to do at one of these grounds. You've got to go there, and when them opportunities come along, you've got to take them. Yeah. It's like now with the mindset with Old Trafford. We haven't got a great record at Old Trafford, but I don't fear going to Manchester United at all, and they're up there. When we went the other week, I thought we beat these.
We never feared going the Etihad.
No,
you know, we never feared it as they were getting better. We never feared it, and we went like as in who were you, and we kept on getting results against them. You know, we were there last year and got a results. You know, the year before we went and got a result. You know,
we led in both of them games.
It's the idea of. It's this idea of having to go somewhere. It's why the derby's such a big thing now. It's this hangover of like,
that's what
we haven't beaten them for so long, and it's the fear of losing.
Of years before. Yeah. You're carrying the baggage of years before. And that's the thing. And one thing I hope doesn't happen is if we do lose on Sunday, but we play well, I hope people don't go too... You've got to keep a bit of perspective. Us as well, you know, because if we lose, you're always down and you think, when's this gonna change? You know, but you'd have to try and get back on the horse and go, we are going in the right direction. It's like you said early on in this, it's a measure of where you are. And if you can look at it, if we play well on Sunday there, regardless of the result, but we play well and we have a right good go, surely people will look down and go, you know what, we were in the game, providing it's not 6-1 or something, we were in the game at Arsenal, we were well in the game at United, we've now been well in the game at Chelsea, and these are teams that are at United that have been hit and miss, but Arsenal will bang up there, you know, Chelsea will be bang up there, and then it gives you that little bit of confidence. Liverpool's the next away game after that, which will be another massive test if we go there. So it's looking, and like you said, you assess it then, you go, well, you know what, 12 months ago we went to these grounds and we turned up, and when Chelsea beat us last year, they just went like that. You know, they beat us 2-0. They could have beat us wherever they wanted. They just couldn't. They got 2-0 up and it was like a stroll in the park. And I think the last 5 minutes we had like a chance off like Ashley Williams had missed a sitter at the end and stuff like that. Other than that, we didn't lay a glove on them and they didn't get hard. They didn't break sweat. The year before they beat us 5-0, you know, and they really did batter us. And it's things like that you've got to get them out your system. You do that by progress, and that's what we're seeing. We're seeing a better level of performance. Now can we go there and can we get a result? Can we draw? Can we win? There, we've got the players to win the game. If both teams play to their maximum ability, they will probably win because they're still better than us. But they might drop a little. They only have to drop a level, a little bit. And we play to the best of our ability. We can beat them.
You know, it's I think our players have had over a week's rest. Their players, some of their players involved in the Europa League, and you help yourself there. Yeah, I mean, you know, put the pressure on me to talk.
Yeah.
So they've got that. They've got the fact that they're in the Europa League, and you never know. The stars might align. You know, we might go down there and do the business, as you say. Other teams have done it, and it's like it's that idea of no one expects us to win. Turn up, play your football. There's no real pressure if you lose the game because if everyone's together and sees it as progress, building forward, then you know, and we're keeping reasonably the same team as well. People are getting to know each other. Obviously, there's going to be a fundamental change Sunday with Mina coming into the side with Zuma, and that is a little bit of a worry because obviously it's a lad playing his first competitive start. Okay, he had a couple of minutes at the end of the game last week, so that is a little bit of a worry. How is he gonna adapt to the pace? You know, next to a lad he's not played next to him, should they'll have done loads in training together, preparing for this game.
God, yeah.
So. But there will be little moments because he won't be fully up to the pace of the game, or the pace of the game at times might take him by surprise. You know, it's okay sitting there watching it, training it, but when you're in it,
of course,
your first 20 minutes you might come under pressure, and it's Jesus. You know, I've got to try and take get a breath for you. And if you take that breath at the wrong moment, you know, then problems can occur. So that is a bit of a worry, but you know, we've all wanted to see him. He's there and he'll play because there's a lot of money and it'll be interesting to see how he gets on.
He's a worry for them though, isn't he? He's a worry for them defensively and offensively because he's an unknown quantity to them. So he's a big lad, you know, off corners. Keane's 6'4" or something, or 6'3", and he's 6'5". You know, two big units going off set pieces and stuff. You seen him the other night, you know, clearing corners. Having headers off to, you know, he should have really scored. Probably just this timing was off, that's all. So he's going to come in. You're right, ideally he'll come in and have an absolute worldie of a debut and you go, oh my God. But we just need him to be steady, really, and him and Keane just not take any chances, do the right thing. And get at them and make sure they know they're in a game. And if he could go, they've got it, like you've just said, they've got a Europa League game. There's sometimes a hangover after that. Of like, you're just not quite at the level. It's a Sunday, you're not quite where you should be. These kind of teams generally still be able to turn it on, but it does happen. It's happened in the past. We go there, the pressure is all on them. They're trying to keep pace with City and keep pace with Liverpool, but the pressure's on them. You know, we're trying. The most important thing for us is that we play well. We do the things that the manager wants us to do, and the players are able to do it. If the players are able to do it, and we cause them problems, Richarlison tore them apart last season for Watford. There, he should have ended up with. He scored 1, I think. He should have ended up with 5. He missed absolute sitters, But he's a threat. He's a danger to them.
Yeah, I think that front four is a threat. Whether it be the same front four or whether Ruchman comes into the side, there's obviously a lot of noise about him. His attitude seems to have been really adjusted. And just watching him the other night in the Gor Mahia game, obviously the level of the opposition was way down, but the fact that he always wanted the ball and he always wanted to be positive and he always wanted to take people on. At times I thought he did too much and should have made it a little bit more simple, but I suppose when you're playing against opposition, you've got the run of them and you enjoy doing those things, you're going to do them. So it'll be interesting to see whether that change happens.
And he worked back as well.
Yeah,
which
he did.
Important.
I think one of the most interesting things of this game is Ross Barkley playing for Chelsea. I think it's he's been on a decent run recently, back in the England squad. A lot of noise made about him by the press, because the press, at the end of the day, the press wants a young English player they can sort of get behind, so then they can knock him down. So there's been a lot of noise about him, so it'll be interesting to see how he gets on in this game, and obviously there's not going to be any special plans for him. You never know, he might do what he first did when he signed for. He might clap the away fans. But I can't imagine he's going to get a good reception off the Everton away fans on Sunday. Which again, it just adds another sort of level to it. Will he try and do too much? Will that hamper his performance? He's not. I mean, listen, he's a good player. I'm not really over worrying about him because the rest of the team's so good. I know Hazard's been out recently with a bit of I think he's had a back injury, but they've still picked up wins. They've got players in form. Morata seems like he's back to some kind of form.
Players like Fabregas,
who's been playing really well.
Ross is doing well for them. You've got Pedro. You can go through the team. They've got good, very, very good players. Chelsea, at the end of the day, they're a strong side. But it's a test, isn't it? Barkley, will he play? Is he playing in the Europa League? Will he pick up a little twinge and he's out the squad? Or he'll want to play, of course he will. And and that's up to it's up to us to combat that, but not specifically. Just go out and play our game. And we know Ross is a good player, very good player, but we've got good players. And Andre Gomez, like I said, has been fantastic for us. If he can get his second half performance against Manchester United from the off against Chelsea, he can cause them problems.
That for me is one of the big, that midfield battle is going to be huge, because they've got really talented players in there who can really cut you open. With Kante, they've got the engine room the way we've got, Ghana. So it's going to be, it's going to be. I think it's
going to. You're looking at their midfield three. It's going to be Kante, Jorginho, and Ross Barkley. That's what it's been. So all things being equal, that's what it'll be Sunday, and they're up against Ghana. So you've got Ghana and Kante are very like for like. Jorginho and Gomez are very like for like, and then you've got Gylfi and Ross, haven't you? At the cold face of it, basically at the diamond of it. So them battles are intriguing because those three midfielders against three, Kante probably shades Ghana. Jorginho v Gomez, I haven't seen that much. I know Jorginho
keeps the ball really well, doesn't
he? And he has a lot of the ball, but Gomez has been fantastic for us. So, probably Jorginho probably shades that, but Gomez is very good and there's not much in that. And then Gylfi by far outshines Ross Barkley. And we know that because we've watched Ross for a number of years. We're not 10 games in watching him. So, but he's got the talent. And then you look around the pitch and you go Richarlison, Morata. I'd rather have Richarlison personally, even though Alvaro Morata's a good player. And then Hazard would walk in any team, but like you said, he's not been fully fit. We've got Bernard, we've got Walcott, who used to do very well for Arsenal against Chelsea. So it's there, it's an interesting game.
It's putting the performance together, isn't it? At the end of the day, it's saying
it's belief, mate.
It's going there, it's believing you can win it, playing to win it, but obviously without.
Listen, this manager will go there and say to these players, you can win this today. get at them and attack. But that's the only way we know how to play now. Or, sorry, the only way he wants to play is to attack teams and push them on the back foot, you know, and when they get a corner, we know we're dangerous now at corners. You know, when we're defending a corner, we're our most dangerous at breaking. So that's what it all comes down to, and it may be fine margins in this game, and those fine margins might be Walcott, which not switching off a short corner.
Well, they are.
You know,
in these games, they are though. In these games, they are. If you're gonna beat these teams, it does come down to fine margins. It does come down to closing people down at the right time. They're all the things, because you can't. You know, it is. If Hazard picks the ball up inside his own half, you've got to deal with it then. You can't deal with it later. They're the things Everton have got to start doing. You know, like you just said, you've got to be switched on all the time. Set pieces. Good players will find a way. They don't just throw it into the box. They'll do something creative, and it is those fine margins. It's being switched on. We know, and most teams will know that they go to Stamford Bridge, they're going to be put under pressure for condensed periods, and it's whether you can be alive. You've dealt with the first one. Are you alive to the second one? That's what most teams deal. And we see it at Goodison Park. We're a better second half teams because we start laying into teams, and it's sound. Well, you dealt with the first one. Look at Crystal Palace. Ball goes into the box. It gets pushed out. Have you got the quality then to put it back in? And have they got the focus to put themselves back? No, they didn't, and we did. And Calvert-Lewin scores a goal. You know, that's the. You know, again, Seamus's goal last week. Gomez runs with the ball. It breaks for Seamus, and he puts it in. We were ready. They weren't ready, and it's a shame. I think that's where. In recent times, we've gone wrong in away games, is that we just can't cope with sustained pressure, and that's why we always seem to concede one goal after the next goal. You know,
what we have to do is we have to clear our heads. If they go 1-0 up, we have to clear our heads and go, you know what? Just because the good teams do it. Yeah. The good teams just go, right, all right, you've scored, kick off. We keep doing what we're doing again, and they assert themselves back in the game. We did it to a certain extent against Brighton, but not as good as we should have done. We can see that everyone was like, where's that come from? Get back on the ball, put your foot on it, go again, pass it, move it, pass it. And if we can do that at Chelsea, because we didn't do it at Arsenal, we switched off, and it was 2-0. I know the second goal shouldn't have stood, but it did, and we were 2-0 down, punched drunk, going, hang on. And then we cleared our heads and went back.
But even that in the past with this, there's far too many times when that happens, and whether it be 1-0 or 2-0 or whatever, the team are like, well, we're beaten now.
Yeah.
Have a day off. You know, finish. That's it now. Where other teams, or you know, the best teams, they go, all right, well, if you're 2-0 down, as you get back in the game, well, you got to score that first goal.
Get one back and see.
What are we like at Goodison when we're 2-0 down, we're 2-0 up, and the other team will score. We all go, oh, here we go. Whereas we never have that mentality the other way round. We very rarely go, all right, we're 2-0 down. If we get one back, then
look at Wolves at the weekend. Wolves were 3-0 down, and the game was dead and buried, wasn't it? They were well out of it. Trippier tries to nutmeg someone in the corner flag. They breaks penalty, goal 3-1. Bang, penalty 3-2. And then Spurs are hanging on. They missed a chance for 3-3. And you're going, this game was done. We've seen it with us. We've been coasting, conceded a goal, and then it's like, oh my God, then there's another one, and you're like, we were 3-0 up here, what's happening? You know, I remember the Newcastle game a few years ago from the Martinez, and it was so one-sided until it went 3-1, and then we were just panicking. You know, and so it can be done. That's what it is. It's clear your head, stay in the game. All right, if we go behind, keep doing what you're doing. Don't abandon all hope and go, right, we just start smashing it now. Get it down, keep passing, keep pressing.
Don't go behind.
Go in front
and score.
Just go there and win 2-0. Win 2-0 and just go. Chelsea just didn't play as well as they could.
They're the tactics we should have been portraying for 24 years.
Go and win. But Joe, I remember Joe Royal when we went down there that day, it was like we were in terrible form. I know we just beat Liverpool, but we were like near the bottom of the league, and it was like, we're gonna attack these today. We got it because we're strong. We just went and beat them, and okay, you ride your luck. And it was a long time ago, but that's how teams get these results. They just go there and go, we've got to have a go. And we're now if we can put that mentality into these players who we've got enough talent in this side, in this squad now, to go to places like Chelsea and beat them. But we know that they're the top side,
of course,
and it's a mentality thing. But if we go and play well, we just need that one result to really make everyone else believe. But fingers crossed.
Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Are you confident? Would you make any changes? Obviously there's one enforced, but would you make any more? Let us know in the comments. If you haven't already subscribed, please do, because you know what? We're trying to get to that 30,000 and we're not that far away now. So,
there, aren't we?
So, you know, a little sub would help.
What?
And if you want more videos, longer videos, more intense videos, 10 videos a week over on Patreon. Join us there as well. It's exclusive. Even got our own little forum.
Yeah.
Dead sound. Positive. It's dead positive.
Positive.
No bonus. It's boss. It's like happy land. For now. Join us now, always, because we'll keep it. We'll keep it like that.
Policed happily.
Get over there. Thanks for watching. See you later.